Hal here with more Space Engineers, and today we're basically waiting for the for this thing to finish charging its tanks. Oh, and we're almost at 25%. Oh, so I figured while we're waiting for that to happen, we've been mining a lot. That little mining craft over there started out as our space miner. Yeah, I've added a bunch of thrusters to it, and we basically have been just scraping ice from a bunch of different areas. Well, you know what? We'll talk about it here shortly. But I wanted to try a little experiment today, so we're going to get into that. But first, we have to get started. So let's go. So, happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you are having a fantastic week thus far. We are coming up on the Independence Day here in the U.S., July 4. So, what we're doing today, I just wanted to kind of mess around with a few things because, well, like I said, we're waiting for the tanks to charge. And what I've been doing is going out every, hour or two, grabbing a couple 100,000 units of ice, throwing it in here. I think we may be, I don't even know how much ice I've got in here. I've got 3 or 4 million ice in here, I think, at this point. It's rather crazy. Maybe less. Oh no, okay, so 7 million ice. Like I said, I've been mining the hell out of the ice for a couple of hours. Now, we did do a couple of changes to the ship, and I'll probably do a little bit of an overview on that here a little bit. But first, I want to show you something I was working on. So I was kind of curious. We've been talking about how energy efficient things like the wind turbines are, and how useful they are. I found out something though. So we've got one here. It's a couple blocks up. It's 8 or 9 blocks above the terrain. And we've actually anchored another one in here. So you come through here. Look, we have light. We also have a second turbine. So what I have found is if you have something drawing energy on it, the turbine will produce power, right? Okay, so here's our internal light, or the interior light. So the turbine out in the mine shaft, it's currently generating 45 watts. Basically, each of the energy production blocks will split whatever power load is on the grid. So I only have one light. It is requiring roughly 90 watts. So this thing is taking... All right, so it's producing 344. So if I had a battery down here, I could actually charge batteries just off of this one turbine. Now, the thing is this one's producing almost 120. This one's underground. Completely underground. This is an interesting development because this means you could have a wind farm underground, completely sealed off and hidden from the surface. For the most part, for PvE, this is not a thing. It's not something you'd ever have to worry about. In PvP, this means you could have your entire base completely hidden other than the entrance. And then it would come down to however you hide your base. But yeah, and I mean, look, you can see there isn't a whole lot here that's blocking. It's not like it's a huge amount of space that's been emptied out. So, actually, I want to do... Oh, I don't have the plates. Let me grab some plates really quick. I didn't realize there were some voxels stuck in there. We're gonna go just grab like 50 plates or so. Like I said, it doesn't have to be much. But what we're trying to do is we want to make sure we have gotten rid of all of the voxels. Because we want that terrain to be as clean as possible. And I'm kind of curious to see, because it was just shy of 120 before, right? It was 119.61 or something like that. Yeah, 119.6. Okay, it didn't have any impact on that. That's fine. And it looks like the light's only taking 50 watts. Because they're pulling 15% here, or 15 watts here, and 45 watts there. But still, the fact that you can have wind generators basically in a giant cavern, that to me just seems a little broken. But oh well, it is what it is. I thought you might appreciate knowing that there's a mad exploit like that in the game. Alright, so let's go talk about what we've done on the ship so far. Oh, see? This is why I sit around and play with this stuff, right? Okay, so we have gotten, I won't say a whole lot more done. We have done a few things. We've done some detail work back here. Yes, I've been greebling. So on the cells here, the thruster array, we've gone ahead and built out a small framework. It's very similar, reminiscent to what we have over here. There are a few differences on it. Not much though. I mean, for the most part, it's the same concept. What we did though is instead of doubling things up, we only used one of the dual-sided walkways, the dual-railed walkways. Because I was looking for something to be a little different, you know. Now, what I did do is on the side here, is I used just the 1x1 sloped windows to finish off the cage, and basically, you know, we have them offset in order to just give it a little bit of a little interesting detail, you know. And then we have some more down here. Okay, so I'm still waiting. Well, I've been talking to folks about what we were discussing last time, which is the aft end of the ship. And I'm thinking I may put another hangar bay in. I haven't decided yet. So what I'm doing in the meantime is I've gone ahead and welded up the back end of this thing, and we've put in a new airlock area, which leads into the you've got it split. Will bring you into the engineering. If you come up here, this will bring you. Turn that back on. This brings you up into this little office space area that we were discussing last time, and I'm thinking I'm going to move the air vent over here because I've gone ahead and closed this off. This is where we were originally going to pipe the connector over to the thrusters on the outrigger on this side. So I'm thinking I may move this either over here. No, I'll put it over here. I'm gonna tuck it in the corner, mainly because of the fact that that'll give us a little bit more room, and then I can put some desks and things in here as well as like the different terminal stations. So the other thing that we've done some work out here in the engineering room itself, the main engine room. I still need to get the gyros welded up. Wait for it to catch up. There we go. But we have gone ahead and put in some vents, and we've closed off everything in here. So this room is actually airtight now. So we have walkways over here, so if we need to get up here and do something, we can. The other thing that I did is I changed the window area, which is something that I had said I was probably going to end up doing at some point. So we've gone ahead and used the base section for the 2x1 ramps, and I've put a ladder in. You don't actually need to have the lower ladder. I just did it for the aesthetic. You climb up, And the reason you can climb up here is because we took the second of the walkway blocks out. Basically, we put walkways up here. And I did the half wall here. And we did the same over here on the vents in order to close that off. One of the things that I've thought about doing is having one of these actually be mounted below. You know, basically flip it over and put it on the lower block. Now, the reason I've thought about that is because I want it to look like, you know, basically these things can be flipped down if you need to. In fact, let's see here. Let's see how that looks if we do it. So if we do that, yeah, see? And in this way, it's basically, it implies that these will rotate. So if you needed to get equipment up here, this would be a way of doing it. I'm actually kind of tempted to go ahead and take all of these out and put half walls in. Ooh, pardon me. It's been a long day. Yawning a little bit. Let's go ahead and turn the helmet off. Not bored with you or the game, just just tired. Alright. Now the one thing that I don't like is that this adds a little bit more of a walk to get in and out of the ship while I'm building. But I do like the idea that basically it does give us another way in and out of the ship. So what I am wondering, I am seriously considering basically making this a larger hangar. Because we've also added a couple of more thrusters down here. But I'm wondering if we did this as an open air. Because I'm wondering if we did this as an open hangar, like an open landing area. We could have an area in here that was basically like hangar control area, and then just have an area have basically a slightly better protected. Because it's either that, or we take parts of this apart. And see, this is what I'm trying to figure out, is which way I want to go with this. There's a lot of different options that we have. And I'm wondering if I'm just not thinking straight because I've got this entire pad here. Tell you what. Let me take this whole thing out. Oopsie. Okay, I was kind of expecting that to like explode or something for some reason. Let's go. This will be our break point here. Yeah, should be clear. Alright. That was more what I was expecting the first time around. Let's go ahead and... I love the fact that metal that isn't attached to anything that's producing power is sparking. Alright, let's get the rest of this out of here. Well, what's funny is I'll probably end up rebuilding most of this. And it's a very real possibility that I'm just going to basically put back everything I just cut out. We'll see. Let's get the rest of this cleaned up. Almost done. There we go. Okay, so let's get everything out of our hands here. Oh, I'm thinking I'm going to remove those two thrusters that are between the nacelle and the hull area. I'm thinking I'm going to move those over. Put and basically duplicate what we have in that one section of the nacelle where we have the 4 thrusters. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to do that. Alright, so you go there, you end up there. Put some space in. And you go there. Which means we can, if we pull that stuff out, we'll have to rework some of this center area, which is fine. I'm actually not that upset about it. Let's go ahead and weld this thing up. Before we go too much further, oh, helps if I have this set up correctly. So we're looking for the incompletes. Right. Actually, let's oh, okay, perfect. Just making sure, because we have all sorts of stuff tagged in here, and I didn't want to potentially have those have the thrusters on that little guy turned on.
Inventory full.
Oh, you know what we can use there? I know what we can do there. We can do 2 small thrusters and 2 small hydrogen thrusters. Turn them off, but take a rifle to them. We'll do some damage so that they're on fire, and those will be our events. Yeah, that should work. Okay. You are going to change out like so. Hopefully. Let's see. Which box did we use for you? We did 2x1 for that, but we did 45s over here. We did 45s up there. Okay. So you guys are supposed to come out. Ah! Alright. So before we go too much further, let's go ahead and tie all that together so that we don't... Perfect. Honestly, let me see here. I'm actually okay with this being a 45. But I think I do like this being the
energy low.
Yeah. I do think I like this one being the ramp blocks, the two-part slopes, just a little bit better. I think it makes the line look a little bit better back here. Keeps it nice and even. You know? Don't have to rework it too much, don't have to rethink it too much. It is what it is. These are 45s on all the way down, so we're good there. Let's see what this is going to look like. Yeah, I'm liking that a bit more. Does clean up the line a little bit. Okay, so I think. Oh, and for how we did this whole thing. Ooh. Oh, I kind of want to shoot that down, just because it's there. My luck, it would land on me. So what we did is we just did a nerd pole connector. Basically got it a couple of blocks up. And then just go out. I go out over somewhere. There's a... that one, I think. The big crater over there. But basically I've just been hitting some of the craters or in the area, stripping ice for that thing. But yeah, okay. I have to say, this is kind of, I know, I'm kind of all over the place today, but I have to say, this is, this is kind of cheatsy. I like it. I mean, look at this. So, but basically what I was doing is I wanted to see if I brought down, if I opened up enough room down here, would I be able to use this? And it's working, so yeah. So definitely something to keep in mind if you're wanting to hide your power production. That is so cheatsy. Oh god, I love it. And the only reason I built this thing up so high is so that I could open this up in order to put more of these in. So I could do the same the wind turbine towers that we have up on the base. The little flower looking things. Set up here really quick. Yeah, but basically, so I can build this. Just so that we can maximize the wind generation down there. Now, the stuff that's down there is obviously not connected to the base up here. It was just kind of a test. So I'll head down there later and break it all down. But I think that's about where we are for today. Like I said, we're really just waiting for these things to fully charge. And I was playing around with some just build ideas. I want to bring you back so you can see what they look like. And on that note, I think we're going to go ahead and call this one here. Yes, it's a much shorter episode than some of the ones recently have been. And so when we come back next time, though, we should be ready for launching. Like I said, once we get this thing into space, we'll do some transport, basically move things from the base up. Oh, it's going to be a lot of work. Alright, so I'm going to get out of here. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you hit that like button. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to throw them down in the section below. If you are new to the channel, haven't done so already, you know the drill. Hit that subscribe. Not only is it a great way to help the channel to grow, lets YouTube know that you're enjoying the content, lets me know that you're enjoying the content. But it's also a nice thing to do, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Hope you all have a fantastic day. We will see you back here on Friday for more Space Engineers. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. So I can jump 3 blocks with a run. But if I do 2 blocks, I fall. Interesting. Ah!